so good. Like, it was empty, but I just, like, for some reason smelled the bottle of beer. Who knows why?
Because you're smart.
And I was like, this smells so good. I really, like, love how this smells. And so I saved the bottle. I rinsed it out, but I was like, I need to know, like, what this is, and I want to try it someday.
It's in your office, isn't it?
It actually still might be at my parents' house, but I probably have gotten rid of it at this point. It's probably not there, but I can't say with certainty that's the case. But it was a Gritty's Black Fly Stout. So I tried it and I enjoyed the beer. So good job, Gritty's. Years later, a nice malty beer, really, appropriately a nice malty beer.
Wow.
And good roasted flavors, really smooth. And it's still one of the top 5 beers that I enjoy. So
wow, you knew back then.
I found it back then.
Nice.
Way before I even knew I liked beer.
Well,
that's a great story.
That is a great story.
I like it.
We actually have found on this show that the best beer stories, some of the best beer stories don't actually involve drinking beer at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that has been kind of a theme.
It's true.
For this series, actually.
Mm-hmm.
We had Nathan from Rising Tide. His first beer memory didn't include drinking.
No.
Ryan from the Hop Yard, he tried, but it didn't include drinking. And then, so we'll have to see what next week with Dash from Oxbow on yeast will bring us, because it's kind of strange and funny and amazing. And
it is.
It's a good story. So we are at the 4th and final round.
Mm-hmm.
We lovingly refer to this round as 3 sheets to the wind, 3 random questions. We've had a couple drinks, and we're hoping that you are willing to share more embarrassing stories.
Sure. Shoot.
So our very first question in this round is, what was your favorite childhood cartoon?
It's such a hard one. Though I haven't had a TV in over a decade, I used to be the kid that woke up at 5:30 in the morning when I was younger to like watch Saturday morning cartoons. I would say that among my favorites were Scooby-Doo. I like a good puzzle with a resolution. And
Did you know?
And Scooby Snacks.
Did you know the answer to the puzzle? Were you the kid that were like, obviously it's the detective?
No, I wouldn't have it. But I always enjoyed the evolution of the plot, as complex as it was, and the fun characters, and I don't know. I always really enjoyed that cartoon, and but I'd watch cartoons too. I mean, we had cartoons. I was sort of a nerdy kid, so I also really liked things like Captain Planet.
With our powers combined.
With your powers combined,
Yeah, your powers
I am
combined.
Captain Planet. Captain Planet, he's our hero. Gonna take pollution down to 0.
I have a question though, going back to Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
What about when they brought in Scrappy-Doo?
I thought Scrappy was fine. I really liked the whole team though. I was a little bit sad when it just became, I think, was it Velma and Scrappy and Scooby and
Just wasn't it?
Shaggy. Yeah, it
Have you seen the live action Scooby-Doo?
unfortunately.
I'm not saying it's good.
Oh,
I'm
you
just
mean like
wondering if you...
yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, like, I know it's a thing. I might have watched 5 minutes of it, but I didn't want it to tarnish my memory and the love for the
Understood.
Good call.
originals.
All right, second question. What song do you have stuck in your head right now?
So this is so nerdy.
We love
But
nerdy.
it's a song. I love traditional music, and I like to try to play traditional music, and I listen to traditional music. So everything from more instrumentals to folksy. And I found this really great CD at a library sale a couple weeks weeks ago called Two Old Friends, or maybe that was the name of the band. I got the CD out there. Yes, Two Old Friends is the name of the band, and then Road to Bangor was the name of the album. For those who want to look this amazing song up. And the first song on the thing is called Mountain Tea, which is about distilling and therefore malting. And so I was listening to it, and then I was like, oh, this is totally a song about malting. So they like talk about smoke on the rise and barley, which is, when you're kilning the barley and you're smoking it, as they often do with whiskeys. And I was like, this is great. So yeah, it's this great old tune about making spirits, beer and whiskey, and fighting or trying to evade, taxes. It's like this great old, tune that.
We'll try to find a YouTube clip of it and put it up on our show notes, which will be at greatbeeradventure.com/008.
Right.
And if you really, I have a quick question. You just said evading taxes. You're not doing that. You don't really completely...
We are not evading taxes.
Right.
Here. Those are the distillers.
Right. That is them, not you. It's not quite your theme song,
well,
but almost.
Almost. Well, talk about buns. We could talk about malting and taxes and and the history of that, but we're not going to. Not enough time.
Not this time. Maybe next time.
Next time
when we come back to name beer.
Sure.
We can sit down, name some beer, and we can talk about malted barley and taxes.
Gladly.
Touche. We'll make it a date.
All right.
Perfect. So we are on our final question. It's sad but true. This is coming to a close.
Yeah.
We would really like to know what was the best thing that you had to eat this week.
So using this week as the last 7 days, it would probably be a really great mess of chanterelles that been gathered down east.
You foraged them yourself.
I foraged them myself. My dad knows mushrooms fairly well, and growing up taught us how to. So I don't have a lot of mushrooms that I'd feel comfortable wild foraging, but boletes and chanterelles would be the two that I feel pretty comfortable about. And chanterelles are so good that I often don't even bother with boletes if I can find chanterelles, and they're really tasty.
I need to explore that.
Yeah, what did you do? Did you just go out, grab them off a tree and chew on them, or did you do something
well,
with them?
there, you go find patches around the forest floor.
So they're not under trees, what he's trying to say nicely.
No, he's not.
I was trying to say that nicely, just slip that in there. So on the forest floor, you might go out and find it. Yeah, don't look for chanterelles on trees, because disclaimer, I'm not encouraging anyone to go out and pick mushrooms without knowing what they are doing.
Would you lead an expedition?
For chanterelles, I would.
Okay, so if you would like to get in contact with Joel, you can head over to his website.
I don't know. www.malthouse.com.
Go to their contact page and ask for
information on chanterelles. We will forward you to the correct people to talk to.
Okay, so what did you do with them?
Well, so back to your question. We sauteed them, sauteed them a little bit, caramelized onions, butter. It's pretty delicious way to eat them.
Did you have any beer with it? What would you?
I did have a beer with it. Which beer did I have? It might have been. It was either Gritty's again. It was either Gritty's Vacation Land, or it was Funky Bow's. So Foking Hoppy, I believe. It's one or the other, or both. I might have had both.
It was a main beer.
They
or
were both. They are both main beers.
Good.
I do try to support my industry. So.
Nice.
Whenever I can.
Yes, thank you for doing it.
So on that note, we need to get to Gritty's, and we need to get to Funky.
Yes.
You should definitely do both of those things.
Done.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us and talking about malt and loving good. That's not right. Loving
Love of bonds.
love of bonds.
The bonds of love.
The bonds of love. There you go. There's another name.
Perfect. Bonds of love. There, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyways, folks, thank you so much for listening in, and I hope you learned just as much as we did. Thank you, and cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's so much fun when our guests sing to us. We want to thank Joel Alex of Blue Ox Malthouse for sitting down with us. We couldn't find the exact version of Mountain Tea that Joel was speaking of, but we found a close replacement. Head over to greatbeeradventure.com/008 to give it a listen. Next week, we will be bringing you information on yeast with Dash Masland. Make sure you head over to greatbeeradventure.com/subscribe to ensure that you don't miss it. Now, for you, our lovely listeners, a little love. I've been dropping little pieces of information throughout the podcast about my mom, and today I decided I should thank her. She even left a review, so I will read that. Mom says, "Until I visited some craft breweries because of Amanda, I was not a beer drinker. She is very knowledgeable on the subject and can turn a non-beer drinker into a beer drinker. Keep up the good work, girls." Thank you so much, Mom, for always following me onto whatever crazy path I choose to go. We are still begging and pleading for you all to go over and leave a review. We know you are busy, but it would be a huge boost to the show. So please, head over to greatbeeradventure.com/iTunes or /Stitcher and click on the review section. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. The music in today's episode is brought to you by Old Etc. To learn more about them, head on over to greatbeeradventure.com/music. We have new things coming your way every Friday, and we can't wait to share them with you. Today's episode was edited, produced, and a lot by me, Amanda. Thanks for joining us. Go subscribe, and we will see you next time. Cheers! Want to know more? Be sure to find us on Twitter and Instagram @GreatBeerWomen. Make sure you head on over to greatbeeradventure.com/subscribe to subscribe. That way, you'll be the first to know when a new episode goes live. We would love it if you left a rating and review on your favorite podcatcher. Let's spread the word and get more people knowing about beer in the great state of Maine. Great Beer Adventure is part of Portland Roots Media.
I used to not like beer. Yesterday. Yesterday being, 12, 13 years ago. So still fairly soon in the world of things when I was in college. Growing up, I think it was because in college they just forced this gross, nasty stuff on you called Natty Light.
Yes,
and you
thank you.
And you just are like, I don't like this. I feel sick, and this doesn't taste good. And so I was like, I don't like beer. Clearly, this is not my thing.
Bonding over this moment because I felt the same way. The boys' dorm smelled like Natty Light.
Oh, it was disgusting. So,
No offense, Natty.
so yeah. Natty Light isn't the only bad beer out there, so don't feel bad. And some people like it. And I'll say most Americans still drink it. It's still the beer of choice. So, who knows who we're offending.
Equal opportunity offenders.
Equal opportunity offenders.